Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Syndicate Horror Movie Massacre, kind of. Uh, Things are about to change for the Horror Syndicate, and I want to prepare you. It's not going to be pretty. Actually, I don't know what it's going to be. But seriously, I've been on hiatus for about a month, maybe a little bit more. Seth has done a great job holding down the fort, getting subscribers, first of all. So I guess you like him better than me. Thanks. I'll see myself out. But anyway, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot of stuff that we're going to try to be doing here. Seth's going to start doing his own show very soon, starting on Wednesdays, which is our usual night for Horror Movie Massacre. And I think it's going to be werewolf centric. Werewolf Wednesday is, I think, what we're going to be calling it. He's got this deep passion for werewolf movies and so much knowledge. And there's so many werewolf movies you probably haven't seen. And Seth's gonna be kind of like your curator through all the werewolf movies you can shake a stick at. So it should be fun. We're gonna start doing Horror Movie Massacre on a different night. I think we're gonna do a shit. What's the other show called? Oh, THS Discourse on Sunday, maybe on Alien Romulus. Depends on if Nate can join. If Jared could join, that'd be even better. But tonight we're going to do kind of a general discussion on the worst two Halloween movies, which we believe to be Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Did I put return on the thing? I hope I didn't. Because I asked everyone if you could say a few nice words about Halloween 5, please do in the comments. And then we're going to okay, I got Revenge and Halloween Resurrection. Those two, whenever we do the 5-star reviews or talk about them, generally those two get the worst scores and get trashed on the most. So we're going to talk about why we think they are considered the worst two. And I think both of us have them ranked pretty low. The only reason 5 would be ranked any higher for me is because of nostalgia. But I'm going to bring in my good friend Seth, and we're going to get going. And if you come in and hang out, we don't expect many people because it's on an odd night for us. We used to do Tuesday shows 4 years ago, but now we're doing one tonight just for the fuck of it. And if we get off topic, cool. We'll just talk horror for a while. And here's Seth. Seth, how you doing?
Doing okay. How are you?
Feeling pretty good actually, especially since I've had 2 really bad days. And of course, we know why I took my hiatus. I'm feeling a lot better though. Uh, so, can you? We kind of just discussed this today, but I wanted to see if you could tell the people that are watching a little bit about maybe what you want to do with Werewolf Wednesdays, hosted by Seth T. Miller. I mean, do you have anything in mind yet, or is that do you want to wait before you start talking about it?
Well, there's a variety of topics I can discuss. I have listed now 110 werewolf movies that I've seen, so I can go through
Jesus,
some of them. I can go through them
you
individually.
blew right past 100.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah. Um, so there's a lot of movies I can talk about. I can kind of group some movies together in categories. I can talk about werewolf books, because there's quite a few that I like. Just a variety of stuff. So it seemed to be like my solo shows that I've been doing for the last month. That the two werewolf ones I did. Um,
I'll tell you what. I think there's not a big market for werewolf content on YouTube. Number one, I don't know. You may know better than I, but plus there's some movies that like maybe somebody's looking for a guide to werewolf movies. Like I've only seen a handful, like maybe 15 or 20, and they're all the big ones. So I think
yeah,
this could be a good thing for anybody who likes werewolf movies or wants to go deep dive and past Paul Naschy.
yeah,
By the way, happy birthday to uh,
yeah.
Wikipedia. Didn't know it was your birthday. Glad you're with us. You, yo. But yeah, I'm excited for this. We just got to figure out what night we're going to do this show. So we'll figure that out Tuesday or Thursday. Can't really do weekends while you're weekend thing, but I don't know. Maybe
Well,
Sundays when Nate's not in season. So in season, it's like he's in heat.
well, lately when I've been going into the to working at the drive-in, I get to leave fairly early, like after the first show gets on, and with it getting dark out a little bit sooner, um, uh, I've been getting home by 9. So I mean, I could probably like if you want to do like a Friday show, I could still probably do like make it 9:30.
Yeah, actually, well, that's 8:30 my time, so that might actually work pretty well.
And
Um,
then of course this week I'm on vacation all week, so I'm not even going in. I'm on vacation for
I
my
think
main job, and I just said no to the drive-in. So
I think we need to do it like an afternoon show or something like that, just for the shits and grins.
we can do
Like
that.
you're gonna do a show tomorrow without me, right? And then I
Yeah.
think maybe that's just the beginning of Werewolf Wednesday,
Mhm.
if you're up for that. And then what if we did like Thursday, like I don't know, like 1 o'clock or something like that. See who could watch us in the middle of the day. See what kind of bums are home in the middle of the day to watch us. Probably not many. One of the gifts I got was a Nice, awesome. Can't have too many Jason Friday the 13th shirts
I'm actually
unless
wearing
it's
mine
some
right
other
now.
Jason. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I got a Star
Yeah.
Wars shirt going from Rogue One. Um, Rogue One's awesome. But anyway, so yeah, we got a lot of things going on. I'm toying with the idea of doing a daily question as like a YouTube short thing, and I just think that like we definitely want to try to get more subscribers first of all because we love horror and talking about horror and horror fans and all that shit. But like today would have been a great day for me to ask a question because, and I'll ask anybody who's watching if you're watching. First of all, if you're here, why don't you just hit the like button? It's so easy to do. We've got the best like buttons. We've got the best like buttons in the world. Come on, and then subscribe. But if you're here, I'll ask anyway. I could have done a video, a short, quick video. What is your favorite H.P. Lovecraft film adaptation? Seth, what's yours? If you can think of one off the mine's Reanimator, without a doubt.
Yeah, Reanimator's really good. From Beyond is really good, and
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I also like Dagon. I have a soft spot for Dagon. So
I do too. That's such a weird movie, and that's one
yeah,
that nobody talks about. Maybe we'll have to talk about that one. Today is H.P. Lovecraft's birthday, by the way, if anybody's asking. But yeah, so it's gonna be called this Razor's Burn.
Not a bad question, Bert.
It's a badass shirt, Seth. And
yeah,
I'm gonna try. I know I left it up the whole time.
yeah, that was my
Um,
buddy Josh.
Okay, but I plan on trying to do that daily if I can. They're going to be like a minute long videos.
Mhm.
Hello. I love both Halloween 5 and Resurrection, so we're going to save this till we get to that conversation because there's other comments. Let's see, what's up, guys? Working late, so I'll be jumping on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Ages of Film
Man,
has came in like during
well, my hiatus, I guess.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, thanks for smashing that like button. I know Friday the 13th. Okay. So do we. Um, absolutely agree. Jason is my favorite franchise, with Pokemon being second, Smallville / Superman. So is it just Smallville or Superman in general? That's a good question. Reanimator for me, Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton works so well, as in Castle Freak as well, which is an adaptation.
Yep.
Thank you. My question is, why is Josh Hartnett ashamed of being an H2O? Do you have any idea for that? Because I don't. Maybe it's his hair. Maybe it's
I
because
have no idea.
H2O isn't. Maybe H2O isn't that great. I don't really care for
I haven't
H2O.
really, I haven't heard him talk crap about it, but
I
I
just
don't
don't
know.
think he
Maybe
talks
yeah.
about it. Hey
Huh?
boys, I just don't think he talks about it.
I mean, it was a job for him, like when
Yeah.
he first started his career.
Hey boys, how are you? Today Halloween ends because it was too quickly made. A writer and director and everything else. She was rude to Danielle Harris. I There's a lot there. Serena in general. Um, I don't expect her to know Danielle Harris. Remember when that all went down? There was a picture of her, a Scout Taylor Compton. Who was the other? Was it Heather Langenkamp? Was in that picture too, or was it PJ Soul? Anyway, it was when Halloween Ends comes out, and that, like we even said, it was, here's Jamie Lee Curtis with fans, and because she, like, on, I guess, their podcast, Scout and Danielle Harris's podcast, she said she didn't even know who.
And
Get over it, huh?
You froze.
Yeah,
There.
but get over it. Who cares? You know, Jamie Lee Curtis didn't know who you were. You know, you don't know who I am. But then again, I don't play your son. So anyway, let's dig into this. I am gonna have to get my charger. I didn't realize my battery was so low. But let's talk about some things like, okay, Halloween 5. Now, I saw this back in 1989 when it came out, and I was like, okay, I loved Halloween 4. I've loved all the Halloween movies, and Halloween 4 was great. But this one definitely fell off, and there's a lot of problems with this movie, and I think the number one problem is the director, and the number two problem is, if you can see it, this house doesn't look like that house. So that's the Myers house in John Carpenter's original film. Of course, we've seen it change, but not this drastic of a change. This is the Myers house in Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. So there are some issues right there. Of course, the mask looks terrible. I don't know if that Don Shanks is the worst Michael Myers, but he's not the best either. So, and then the unceremonious killing of Rachel. So those are some of the talking points. And then, of course, let's not forget about Tina and the throwaway storyline from that the end of 4 set up for us. There's a lot. So I know we've talked about this real or before. But let's kind of dig in. Michael cries. Get the out of here with that shit. See, ages ago I read about Halloween 5. I know they say Laurie Strode, nice, was killed, but I read they found her and took her to a safe place where Michael will never find her till H2O. I'm taking part tonight because I live THS and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're always a viewer. But anyway, so let's take this beat by beat. Let's talk about the Myers house real fast. Seth, why do you like that house better than the original Myers house?
Well, mark that on the shit I've never said. Back to you, Chuck.
Right, yeah. Why do you think the director went with such an extreme different house? We're talking about a Victorian house versus whatever the original Myers house is. They look nothing alike. And the thing that kills me is there's the Myers house they used in 6, which of course they didn't know about because this was 6 years prior, was not far from that house because they shot 4, 5, and 6 all in Utah, Salt Lake City. You know, why couldn't they scout better? I don't understand that. They were able to use the same Carruthers house in 4 and 5. This is one of my biggest problems because the movie isn't great overall. And by the time we get to the third act in the Myers house, you're like, what the fuck is this house? And it's just something, maybe as a stickler, it bothers me. I feel like you could almost throw Halloween 6.
Frozen again.
I don't know what's going on with my service right now, but hopefully it won't be a big problem. I know why. I'm on the wrong fucking one. I'm pretty sure. So we have like a dual Wi-Fi thing, and one of them is complete shit, and the other one works great. Well, the one that's complete shit is what this is on. So I'll have to fix that after the show. Yeah, Michael Myers cried because of his niece. The new house in Halloween 5 looks scarier. Yeah, but I mean, in 3 movies, we had the same house. Um, do you have any thoughts on this at all, or do you want to move on to Don Shanks, which is next?
Well, my thought is that one, it's the director kind of just wanted to do what he wanted to do, and two, it gave him an excuse to do that whole scene with the uh, uh
The laundry suit.
the laundry chute, yeah, to do that whole sequence. Because otherwise, if they did like the typical Myers house, there wouldn't be that there. Um, so it just
Which they didn't
overall
even
fine.
shoot. They didn't even shoot that scene in that house. Did you know that?
Oh, I believe it, but it's just
Yeah.
like geography wise, you know what I mean? Like you would need a house to show an exterior of a house that kind of reflects something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see. Okay, so Don Shanks. What do you think of Don Shanks as Michael Myers? I know the mask is a big issue, but the mask looks like Nicolas Cage almost. What did you think of Don Shanks' performance? Because I know you're more critical over stuff like that than I am.
to be honest with you, it's a little difficult with this one because like the mask was shit, the script was shit, the direction was shit. And listen, I do want to put this out there. This is one of my least favorites in the series, but it's like it's one of those that's like it's one that I don't like very much, but I can watch it. You know what I mean? Like if I watch 4, I'm gonna watch 5 and then 6.
Yeah, same here.
It's
For
got
5
some
or 6.
moments. It's got moments in it that are good. I think there are some stuff with it that are good, but as far as judging Don Shanks, it's hard to tell because it's kind of hard to tell what would have been like if the script was better, if the story was better, if the mask was better, if maybe had a better director. It's sort of like not quite like this, but sort of like George Wilbur in a way, where like the mask and the shoulder pads that he had in 4 made him seem like a terrible Michael,
Right.
performance-wise, but then he actually was really good performance-wise in Curse of Michael Myers. So it's tough to judge if it's Don Shanks or not, just based on everything he had around him.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't really fault Don Shanks. I think he did some cool stuff, like that scene with Mikey. Trick or treating, yeah, that was good.
And one of my favorite scenes in that movie is the scene with him and Tina in the car, and he had like the different mask on, and like the way he was like looking at her, and just like I thought that was a really good, intense scene. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Don Shanks, I watched if you haven't watched Horror's Hallowed Grounds with Sean Clark, they do Halloween 4, 5, and 6 all around roughly the same time because it's all in Salt Lake City, Utah. But Don Shanks seemed very passionate about the role and really cared about it. He said there was a lot of what he did cut out of the movie too, which is a shame because I guess he took on a SWAT team outside the hospital, which I believe the hospital's where they shot the laundry chute scene also. And I love watching Sean's videos. They're really great, and Sean's a great guy. But yeah, I don't think Don Shanks is the problem. I do think the director is probably one of the biggest problems because why didn't they just get George Wilbur back? And also, I'm still confused as to why they can't just reuse the same. It doesn't look great, the Mask and Four, but he gets it from the store that day. So why not reuse that mask? What happened to it? Um, you can't tell me that explosion fucked that mask up to make it look like Nicolas Cage. So anyway, uh, yeah, Don Shanks is not. I don't think he's that big of a problem. I've just heard that he's not one of the best. I think James G. Courtney's probably the best Myers. What do you think about that?
James Hugh Courtney is the second best. Yeah.
Nick Castle.
Oh, of course.
As much as he deserves all that, there's also a lot of who actually was the Shape in certain scenes. I don't know. Like I heard so many different people played him, so I don't know what's him, what's not him. He doesn't even remember apparently. But James G. Courtney also got to do it for 3 movies, which I think kind of he got to be the character longer. You know what I mean? Like I think that really was a benefit for him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I credit Nick Castle mainly because of the fact that 1, he's not an actor, 2, he's not a stuntman. He was just John Carpenter's friend visiting the set, and he just had to do it. And yeah, yes, there are other people in there. There's Tony Moran as the face of Michael, age 23, and
Yeah.
there's stunt people in there as well, but the majority is Nick Castle, and I thought that just the way he was just subtle enough, and it just sort of iconic enough. So I give him credit for just being a guy who wanted to be a filmmaker who just visited his friend's set and created.
Yeah, he did a great job. I mean, there's no doubt. Yeah, so I'm sorry we didn't answer your question. We were in the middle of talking about something. Let's see. My question: which of the 2 horror franchise houses do you find scarier? I don't find Stu's house scary at all. It's just a country house.
I think it's a cool looking house.
Oh, absolutely! It'd be cool to be there. I want to see it. It's really cool looking.
Yeah, and it totally works for the final act of Scream, for sure. But I think there's something about the Myers house that is
well. First of all, the Myers house gets extra creep factor because Judith Myers was murdered there. Going into Stu's house in Scream, it was a party house. There's nothing to be scared about. And they set everything up the way it looked. When Laurie and Tommy are walking, to school, and that's the spook house, all that stuff. They set that up so it makes it scarier. So yeah. Didn't you have another question too? I mean, we gotta get to your stuff right away. What would a Halloween 4 or what would a Halloween 4 would have been like if Jamie Lee Curtis was in the movie and Danielle Harris's mother and daughter can work together to take out Michael? I don't think that was ever on the table. So I don't know. I probably wouldn't be as good of a movie because
what it would have been like.
Yeah,
I think if they got Jamie Lee back, I don't think they would have even introduced a daughter. I don't think. I think the only reason why Jamie Lloyd was created was because they couldn't get Jamie Lee back.
Yeah, and she was a big star at that point too. But I don't think it would have had the same impact because I like Rachel a lot. And that's the next point of why Halloween 5 is bad. But there's a different dynamic rather that would be there between a mother and daughter versus a stepsister or whatever, foster sister, and a teenage foster sister who really kind of didn't want to deal with her that night. She wanted to go out with her boyfriend. So I like that dynamic where that wouldn't have been there in Halloween 4 with Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode and Danielle Harris. Plus Danielle Harris's or Jamie's extra baggage of her mom being dead and the kids bullying her and stuff like that, that wouldn't have been there either. So I love Halloween 4 the way it is.
Well,
Almost.
to kind of go on that, I'm almost grateful that Jamie Lee didn't come back, because if she
Yeah.
did, it would probably be more of the same old, same old.
Probably.
Michael coming after her. I mean, the series already is same old, technically speaking,
Yeah.
as is, as far as like formula wise. But I just think that because she didn't come back, um, you know, we got new characters, and I think it's for the better for that. Because I mean, the more the series goes on, and the more she's come back, I'm just like, you know what? I hope she never comes back. Like, she's a great actress. She did fine. Um, I like H2O more than you do. I like Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills quite a bit. Um, but I don't need her back. I don't need Laurie Strode back. I just want the series to be done with the Laurie Strode character. Just move on, find a new main
Yeah,
character.
whether it's sister or not, I don't need any more Laurie Strode.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm with you on that. And I like Jamie Lee Curtis just fine, and I love what she brought to the franchise, but it's time to move on. Could you guys ever see Halloween Scream movie crossover? No. I'm just going to say no right away. With Michael and Ghostface, but Stu is Ghostface. No, I don't want to ever see that.
Well, it really couldn't happen because two reasons, and they're pretty contradictory to each other. It doesn't make sense this way, but in Scream, they are literally watching John Carpenter's Halloween.
Yes.
In Halloween H2O, this doesn't make any sense. In Halloween H2O, they are watching Scream 2.
Yep.
It wouldn't make sense for the characters in Halloween H2O to watch Scream 2 because Scream 2 is a sequel to a film that has the characters watching Carpenter's Halloween. But it's basically set with those two movies that they're both in separate universes. Like,
yep, completely.
Scream is supposed to be more of the real world. Take it for what it is, and it just wouldn't work. So,
no, and personally, I wouldn't want to see that. I don't want to see any more crossovers.
To be honest with you, it's funny because back before Freddy vs. Jason came out, I was really looking forward to Freddy vs. Jason, and to agree, I still actually kind of like that film, but I'm not the old me anymore. Like, I don't want any verses. I'm just done with the whole crossover thing. Just do your own individual, keep them separate.
Well, and also, Scream is great on its own. It's a long running. What is it now? Almost in 2 years. I guess probably when Scream 7 comes out, that'll probably be the 30th anniversary, I would assume, because that movie's not coming out next year. I doubt it. But when that comes out, that'll be one of the longest running horror franchises without a remake ever, which is other than Phantasm. Shout out to Phantasm. I Scream's fine the way it is. I mean, technically, Seth, we could say Halloween has multiple timelines, but I don't want to get into that because there's the Loomis timeline, there's the Kills timeline, there's the Rob Zombie timeline, there's all kinds of shit. So, but yeah, I don't want to see crossovers. I don't want to see a Freddy versus Jason movie like ever again, and partially it's because both of those franchises are on life support, I guess. We haven't seen a new Elm Street film, with the exception of Freddy vs. I'm taking Freddy's Dead out because it's not an Elm Street movie. It's Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. There's no Elm Street in there. Ho! And then 1994's Wes Craven's New Nightmare is not an Elm Street movie technically, but technically it is, but not really. That makes sense. Also, Friday the 13th, we haven't seen a new Friday the 13th movie since 2009, right? Oh, I forgot about the remake of Elm Street in 2010. Holy shit. Doy. I got to go get my battery. Can you take over for a minute? Let's talk about why it was a crime to get rid of Rachel. I'm gonna give you the main screen while I go get my charger. Otherwise, it's gonna die.
Okay. So why is it a crime to take away Rachel? Like, I guess to answer that question, and I know I've said this before, so I'm kind of repeating myself for anyone who's been watching us for a bit, but like, Rachel was a very likable character, and I am not against the idea of her dying at all. But to do it the way that they did it in the beginning of 5, and then push in some character we've never seen before named Tina, and to have the Tina character make this sacrifice before the third act, and then have some sort of forced emotional connection between her and Jamie, it was just awkward. I've said it many times before. Rachel should have been the one to have that sacrifice just before the beginning of the third act of Halloween 5, because it would have made more sense for it to be that character. It would have there would have been a lot more emotional weight to it, which I know is kind of a goofy thing to say with a Halloween sequel, slasher in general, but I feel like the character of Rachel was genuinely likable, and I feel like there would have been a stronger reaction to her going out the way that Tina did near the third act, and so the idea of so we have all of Halloween 4 with her, and she's proven to be likable in that, and then give her a lot in Halloween 5. And they could have explored certain things about, how Rachel kind of reacts to Jamie based on what happened at the end of Halloween 4. Maybe she loves her, still supports her, but maybe there's an unease there still. There's just a lot more they could have done there. It just didn't make any sense whatsoever to kill off Rachel so early on, and then to force in this other character that no one gives a shit about, that turns out to annoy the majority of the Halloween fan base, and then give her this big moment that wasn't earned for that character. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I heard most of what you said, and I pretty much agree. It should have been Rachel, not Tina. Tina was annoying also. Real quick comments. Let's see. Instead of Michael being super strong with superhuman strength, I would love to see if they bring Danielle Harris back. Otherwise, see her dog totally maim Michael if they brought the dog into the story. I would love to see Halloween story with Danielle Harris returning when she has a dog. You really like that? The Max? Is that who he's talking about? Max died.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be another dog, but like his idea is almost kind of reminds me of like it'd be like Halloween, but done like a Bad Moon, with like the main character with the dog. Yeah, that'd be kind of actually fun. It'd be different too.
Pretty sad Nightmare on Friday have been so dormant. Yeah, it's sad, especially for Elm Street. I love Elm Street movies. So Seth. No, I mean a crossover. I'd love to see a crossover with them and a 10 marked together, the tank out with the main characters together, not them fighting. No, we understand what you mean. It's just that's not something we'd like to see. Probably won't even happen either. Tina is annoying and hard to like, but over the past 20 years since I've seen Halloween 5, she's grown on me. Really? See, the thing is, I liked her right away. And for the past, how many ever years it's been? she's gotten worse, in my opinion. So, but I do, yeah. I think Rachel should have been there. Look who it is. Yeah. Why wasn't it Lindsay? Why couldn't they just name her Lindsay? I think I would have been happier with that. You remember Lindsay was in part 4, who was supposed to be Lindsay Wallace. So,
and honestly, the actresses, they don't quite look alike, but
dark hair could have worked.
You could have passed one off as the other.
I mean, Tuesday Night doesn't look like Patricia Arquette. Just saying.
That's true.
Yeah. Halloween 5 is not as bad. Wow. Oh yeah, the cops. I forgot about that and their clown music. Oh man. The Man in Black.
Sean, I mentioned earlier on that Halloween 5 is like one of my least favorites, but it's also one that's like I can watch. It's like the most rewatchable.
Wait, it's not unwatchable like Elm Street 4?
That's fucked up.
That I didn't say that. One of our followers said that. So just saying.
Yeah, I saw a few comments trashing that movie on that thread.
If they're trashing that, they may as well trash Dream Warriors. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Resurrection. I sounded like Donald Trump. Resurrection. Yes, that movie is a pile of dog crap. Okay, Sean, one of my favorite followers, of course. What is your least favorite? What do you think is the worst one? Is it Resurrection? We'll get there. The cops and the comedy music is the worst part of Halloween 5. Yeah, I think the worst part, honestly, is the car chase in the middle of the night. That's like one of the worst things in that whole movie. What do you think is one of the worst things
in the whole movie?
Yeah. Other than Tina.
Cookie Woman.
Cookie Woman.
For me, my personal, the thing that I hate the most about that movie is asshole Loomis, and I know people have explained it.
Oh yeah.
I get it. You know, after what happened at the end of Halloween 4, I get it. Loomis is to the end of his rope. That doesn't mean I like it. That was, to me, it was so out of character for that character, and that's like one of my favorite horror protagonists.
Yeah, me too.
So
I think that's a good point. Like I never thought about it that way until talking to you about it. It is a stark change from what he was in the previous movies, and I never really noticed it until I watched it again after talking to you. So I get what you're saying as well. The worst for Joran is Rob Zombie's Halloweens, both of them. No, I mean I would love to see a Halloween movie with Danielle Harris returning, and as she has her dog with her, a different breed this time, but the dog totally destroyed my okay.
Halloween: The Revenge of Lester.
What do you guys personally think about the idea of putting a dog into the Halloween movie franchise storyline? Do you think it would work? I don't know. I think Michael Myers would kill. He eats dogs. He's killed numerous dogs. I don't think it would make much of a difference.
Well, this time around, the dog gets the best of him. That could be the punchline.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that it would do anything for me if there was a dog in the movie that bested Michael Myers. I don't know. What was the movie where a dog killed the bad guy by like jumping up on it and pushing it off and it fell off something? There was a movie I saw that. Like, what is that? You know what I'm talking about?
God damn it.
You can see it in your head, right?
Yes, I can. I just can't think. Like, I can't specifically name it.
Did it happen in Jason Takes Manhattan? Or something? I don't know. I went to Halloween. Yeah, so was I. I had same experience. Went to Halloween 07. Super disappointed walking out. I hated it. Resurrection's the worst by a mile. People say Halloween 2 is the worst. I get some of the hate, but well, the thing about the reason I didn't add Halloween 2 actually, because I thought about it, was because there are two different cuts of the movie, and there's two different movies completely, essentially, right? And one is definitely better than the other. So, and it's too easy to say you hate Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, in my opinion. They made a killer animal movie about a rabid kangaroo going around killing people. What do you think? I don't know. Like, wait, is that a real movie? A killer kangaroo movie? I have no idea, man. I've never heard of it. It's offensive. I don't know, man. I've never seen a killer that movie. The one kangaroo movie I remember is that one where in the picture, the poster, he has like sunglasses and he's all, I think it's Kangaroo Jack or some shit. What is that? Oh God, it's a marsupial.
Halloween 3, the marsupials. Just
The
wondered
killer
about that.
kangaroo movie is called The Red Check. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of that. Thanks for letting me know about it, though. I'm sorry that it's offensive. I'll have to see why. I'm not Australian, obviously. I'm terrified of Australia, honestly. You see some of the crazy insects they have down there? No thanks. Okay, Man in Black. This is the last thing we're going to talk about for Halloween 5. What are your thoughts on the Man in Black storyline that damn near went nowhere?
Well, it was bullshit to be put in to begin with, and it was just to kind of fill out time and to try to make the film have something interesting going on. And the problem is it wasn't very well thought out.
No.
They decided to add it in and just say, we'll let the next guy fix it. And so they added that. They added the thorn symbol, and they basically fucked the franchise. And you know, people trash talk Part 6, but it's like the people who made Part 6, that was the hand that they were dealt. Halloween 5 fucked the franchise with the inclusion of the Man in Black because they rushed production and they realized they had a terrible script on their hands, and they tried to add something in there to make it interesting. And instead of just taking time to develop a movie, this is what we got, and they fucked the franchise.
Do we blame Dominique? We blame Dominique for ruining the Halloween franchise as it was. Because Halloween 4 was great. Halloween 5 could have been great. And Halloween 5, I mean, Chappelle and the writers had to pick up with a broken series at that point. And, you know, this was the last. I love Halloween 6, Chris and Michael Myers. It was the last movie we got with Loomis and Donald Pleasance. But, yeah, they fucked up. And then they said, fuck it, let's bring Laurie Strode back and disregard the Loomis movies. So I do. It's Dominique's fault.
You got to give some responsibility to the Akkads as well. Mustafa Akkad, you know, he kind of got a little antsy in his pantsy after the success of Halloween 4.
Yeah, I mean, they could have waited till 1990, but at the same time, the slasher boom was ending. I mean, they probably saw it. By the end of 1989, we saw a rapid decline of slasher movies. So, yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. It's 1991 probably would have been a good year for that one to come out. You know, 3 years later, it's just like Halloween 2 was 3 years after the original film. So I don't know. I don't know anything, you know. But I think also Akkad probably looked at it like, well, shit. Friday the 13th gets a new movie every year, just about. Elm Street gets a new movie every year. Why can't we? I mean, 1988 and 1989, we got a Halloween movie in both years, a Friday the 13th in both years, and an Elm Street in both years. For me, it was Christmas every year. So.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, you know, the difference is that the Halloween movies they have stories, they have mythology behind them. The Friday the 13th films, as much as I love them, they are the scripts are just Xerox copies of what came before, but with character names crossed out and changed. I'm gonna grab another beer. You want one?
Yeah.
I'll
Can
be
you
right
pour
back.
it in my cup?
Yeah.
The Man in Black storyline for Halloween 5 didn't make any sense to me because there was no point. There was no government cover up. Yeah, it was just bull. I hated it. Halloween 5 is my 5th favorite Halloween movie. Sean, I haven't been on the show in like 4 weeks, and I mean, I'm worried about you. With Halloween 6, with Jamie having a baby, Free Willy 2 did even better in the box office. Well, Free Willy was a big hit. I actually never seen Free Willy, except for when I opened my pants. Oh, got it.
That's not what I heard.
I love that Halloween 6 ran with new layers added Halloween in Halloween 5. After that, every movie has just tried to start over from Halloween 1 and 2. Yeah, I appreciate the effort. I do too. I agree with you. Halloween 6 is one of my least favorite in the series, but it's perfectly watchable. Not good though. Yeah, that's a pretty good assessment.
That's fair.
Yeah. If you guys ask me, this Scream movies actually say the horror on a franchise because horror was dead in the 90s. But when Scream came to the theaters, yes, it did. You're 100% correct. Scream saved horror. Horror was dying in the 90s. It was in a bad place. We were getting a lot of movies direct to video. I mean, the Hellraiser franchise went direct to video after the 4th one. Yeah, yeah. I mean, horror was on live support, as I mentioned, thing on live support. So yeah, Scream did a lot, and we love Scream. We absolutely love the Scream movies here. They said there was no idea who the Man in Black was. Can you imagine? Like, let's just throw this guy in a trench. He looks cool. Let's do it. With Halloween sinks the Curse of Michael Myers, that did not make any sense. It was a wrong type of film. I liked Halloween 6. Halloween 6 messed up by replacing Danielle Harris with J.C. Brandy. I wonder if her role would have been bigger. I know that they killed Jamie off really early. Well, actually, she lives longer in the producer's cut. But I wonder if they scaled her role down after Danielle Harris decided not to do it. I always wonder that. You've read Halloween 6 scripts, haven't you? Like rejected scripts.
The ones I read, the one that I read that was terrible, that I did a
review on, yeah,
breakdown for on the website. She wasn't in it. There was a new Strode relative, and there was like some sort of like glimpse of like Jamie being like locked in a cage, but that was about it. There wasn't really in that initial script.
They were building up to a Strode family team up for Halloween 7. After Halloween 78, none of the movies are great. 5 is not great. What about 2? I really like 2 quite a bit. -4 and H2O. Okay. Another made me so many killer shark movies over the years, but there's not many killer whale movies except for Orca. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why. Let's see. In 6, it was supposed to be Michael's baby. Yes. Gross. You guys remember seeing a paid actor running around in the movie theater dressed up as Ghostface, scaring people when the first came out? No. I never saw that.
Not in my town.
Yeah, my town either. 2 is decent. Not great. I like 2 quite a bit. We just did a live stream on that about a month ago. Okay. On to Seth's favorite, the franchise, Halloween Resurrection. Tell him why you hate the beginning.
because the beginning's horseshit in almost every aspect. One,
Tell
the
them why you hate
serial,
it.
the serial killer expert uh, uh, does not properly recap Halloween 1 and 2, and this is from the same director as Halloween 2. The fact that he didn't understand how many people were killed in that movie is fucking hilarious.
What did he say? I don't remember like how many.
He killed 4 nurses and a paramedic or something like that. Like, or 3 nurses and a paramedic. That's what he said. Like they downplayed the body count of Halloween 2. So one, he's factually incorrect, and then Michael Hanneman and his knife. Okay, horseshit. That's dumb.
Yeah, why? I would assume he'd kill him.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm done. I passed down the mantle to you. This person I don't know.
Yeah. The hair on Michael's mask was ridiculously huge, and I can't help but make the comparisons to Ronald McDonald with the way that he looks. To the whole switching bodies with a paramedic excuse was such horseshit, given at the end of H2O, that was so clearly Michael.
Yep.
You don't.
But the Akkads have a rule.
Yes, allegedly, but like there was that the thing that happened on the set of H2O where Steve Miner and Jamie Lee Curtis really wanted the ending that they were going for, and then the Akkads didn't, and so they halted production and they brought in Kevin Williamson, who gave this half-baked idea that, oh, he's going to switch uniforms. It's like, when does Michael ever do that? He can just slip away in the shadows. He doesn't need to, and the whole thing with like, oh, but he couldn't speak. There's ways to communicate without vocals, body language, rip off your mask, just tapping someone on the shoulder, just like it just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It's a dumb, lame excuse. Now, that being said, in 2002 or 3, was it 2002 or 2003? Can't remember now.
The movie 2002.
2002. That's right, because Freddy vs. Jason was 03. Back in 2002, I was kind of fine with it, but it's just like one of those things that was like, the more I think about, the more I'm just like, no, this is retarded, because it was clearly Michael at the end of H2O. The way that he lunged at her in the van, the way he sat up, the way he got sent through the windshield, and then he sat up just like Michael. It was so clearly Michael, and so I don't buy that horseshit at all. And then dumbing down the character of Laurie Strode. So she knows this is Michael. She looks out the window. She sees him there. She sets up the little trap in her bed, or not trap, but she sets up the little ruse with her bed. She literally sees him come in and stab the pillows that he thinks are her. She hits him over the head, leads him up to the roof. She gets him into the snare trap. And then because he grabs his head like this for some reason, Laurie's like, I need to make sure, which is so fucking stupid. It's like, you need to make sure this guy is not another paramedic. Give me a fucking break. So, yeah, I have huge problems with this fucking movie right from the start.
How does she even know what Michael Myers looks like?
Well, I mean, you could say that, there would be, I guess, realistically, like, after the events of the other stuff, there would be, photographs of him without the mask, stuff like that. But anyways, the movie's off to a bad start already. And then...
No, Sean. Sorry. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the best remake. No, it's not.
Well, you know what? I love that remake, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. Oh, he said it was.
I also like the Amityville Horror remake. What do you have to say about that, Ray?
I just watched that the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. I'd like to talk about that sometime.
We should.
Yeah.
I'm gonna infuriate you.
Maybe
I like it
there's
better than the original.
there there are things to like about it, but it's too 2000s, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You didn't look like it was the 70s at all. Anyway, how's it going? Halloween 5 is probably the worst for me. It has no story at all, and dogs at so many points. I always tell myself it's better to remember every time. Oh, a mistake. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh my God. I thought I turned that down. Jesus. Yeah, I did. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, the beginning of Halloween Resurrection was I originally I thought it was good, and then I listened to your 19-minute rant on it, and I was like, oh, he's right. No, I never thought it was good. Uh I have no nostalgia for this movie at all. It's just there's a lot of bad things about it. I don't like the premise. Like Michael Myers goes home. Like we don't even know where Laurie Strode was, her hospital was, do we? I'm assuming California.
Yeah, probably. Or it could have been Weston Hills.
And the only reason he kills these people is because they invade his house. Like it's just the movie's flimsy. It's super flimsy. There's a lot of problems with it, in my opinion. As far as I don't like any of the cast. None of the cast members were likable. Not even the main character, Sarah or whatever. I don't remember her name. So nobody's memorable. You're right. The mask looks bad. Busta Rhymes was not good, and I just don't like the overall idea of the movie. That's a weird question. So we know what a Halloween movie would look like when it came out in 2002, because that's Halloween Resurrection. I don't know. That's a 2003, like a 2003 horror movie. Maybe 2004 and 5 will be body horror Halloweens. I don't know.
Well, 2005 is the year that Mustafa Khan died.
That's
when
true.
When he was killed by terrorists, pretty much.
I will say Laurie didn't die in Resurrection. The mention of her death in the Dangertainment show. That's true. That would have upped the viewership. I'd say Halloween 2018 could have taken off from there. Instead, they but they need to brought back John Tate instead of a brand new family. Yeah, I think Resurrection is everybody knows it's the worst one, so they want to get rid of it. Halloween or Jason X over Halloween Resurrection. Yes.
Yeah.
What would Scream 4, 5, 6, 7 look like if McKnight came out in 2004? What's McKnight? Bianca, yeah. What do the kids like Blair Witch Project for in '99? Check found footage movies make no sense, but they will make money. Yeah, Paranormal Activity. For me, the entire '90s and 2000s genre of era of Halloween is the worst. Yeah, I don't know about Gilmore. I've never seen Gilmore Girls.
Well, it's I mean that's exactly as I've been saying. Like when I talk about like, I mean I do like H2O like better than you do, but there's something about the way that H2O and Resurrection felt, where they felt very safe. They felt very polished. It just felt like just traditional movies, and that's why I kind of, as much as the Rob Zombie films are they're by no means my favorite whatsoever. I respect the hell out of Rob Zombie for bringing back the horror element of it and making it land because H2O and Resurrection just feel safe.
So, yeah, that makes sense. I have to look this up because it says Josh Hartnett said he wouldn't come back to a Halloween movie because it was Tim. That dude barely does anything.
Well, he left Hollywood for a while. He had like I read this interview with him. Like he had like this weird situation with a stalker showing up at his house.
Sorry, I mean, what would Scream 4, 5, 6, 7 would look like? I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. I don't think they intended on bringing Scream back after 3. So I don't think we would have ever gotten a Scream movie in the 2000s other than Scream 3. And then Scream 4 came to life, and they were trying to do a new trilogy, and it didn't work. So, yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Even H2O is what do the kids like? H2O looks like a Degrassi Halloween special. That's funny. Agreed about Hartnett. Yeah, I heard. I actually have heard that too. He disappeared for a while. I guess he's coming back now. I don't really care for him one way or the other, to be honest. I prefer Rob Zombie work on a new song for a new Chucky movie. Living Dead is excellent, and Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Scream is in the toilet after 6. I hope 7 returns. Well, Nev Campbell's coming back. Somebody else is coming back too. I can't remember who it is though. Out of all Halloween masks, have seen over the years, which one would you think is the scariest mask? The first mask. Actually, I take that back. I think the mask in Halloween Kills looks pretty awesome, but it's essentially the first mask with some aged whatever and fire damage. I think it looks really cool. What about you?
I would say the first mask. I also really like the mask from Halloween 6. So Shoot Me. I actually like that.
Oh, I love that mask. Actually, I have. It's not in the shot, but I have my Halloween mask or the shape mask from the first movie over there, and the next mask I get will be the Halloween 6 mask. So I like it a lot. It's the best mask that they produced after the first movie, in my opinion. And it's the best one other than the 2018, which it looks like way smaller too. Like a fit on that dude's head. Like if you see him in real life, that one is a big one, and then the 2018 mask is tiny. And I think they're made from the original molds or something. I don't know. I don't know about that. I have to ask Nate. So Patrick Dempsey's returning for Scream 7 out of.
Hey, I'll be right back, man.
Okay. You didn't hear.
Lead the way.
All right. Okay. I mean, he did some Hollywood stuff, like Hollywood Homicide. He did some Hollywood stuff, but he kind of tapered off in the late 2000s, early teens, and then he was in that TV show that I can't think of the name of offhand. He's whatever. Did you hear the rumor that Melissa Barrera and Paramount made up that she's returning? I haven't heard that. That hasn't come across my desk, if you will. I don't care. Honestly, if she comes back, it won't sway me one way or the other. Nev Campbell's coming back. That's cool. I think Halloween or Scream 6 could have been a great ending for that franchise. Kills is slowly becoming my favorite film of the franchise or the series. The mask is incredible. It's not often that you can redo an iconic character. and make it more iconic. But the burn mask, I don't like the way it looks and ends. But yeah, Halloween Kills is it's every time I watch it's getting better because I hated it immediately. Like, initially, when I got left the theater, I hated it. Halloween 2, 2009, the theatrical cut is much better. I agree with you. No, I think the director's cut's better, not the theatrical cut. I've heard that too about Melissa Barrera returning from Scream. Does that mean Jenna Ortega will come back too? I think her time has passed. There are rumors that Dewey may be returning. I'm like, explain that one. Yeah, please do. There's only one character I think I'd like to see come back to Scream, and if anybody, it'd be Stu. But I honestly, I want people who die in Scream to be dead, not come back. I don't like that. It's like in comic books, like Superman died. Oh, he came back. Green Arrow died. Oh, he came back. It's I'm not a big fan of that stuff. So if they're dead in Scream, and Scream's supposed to be realistic, they should be dead. That's my opinion. I also was severely disappointed upon Kills in the first watch. I did not. It's funny because 2018 gets worse for me, but with each rewatch and flip, yeah, I actually like Kills the best out of those three movies. Okay, we'll see. I haven't heard anything yet. Figure out how many Cotton. I just want Cotton Weir to come back so we could do a show 100% Cotton. That's the only thing I care about. Do you think the director's cut? Well, yeah, Laurie is awful in the director's cut, but there's some scenes like Annie's death scene and the way Brackett reacts is so like guttural. Like like I don't care about those characters in those two movies almost at all, but because of the way Brad Dourif reacts to her death, it's like it's slightly better. I don't think either version of Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, are very good, but wasn't Stu supposed to return? I mean, who knows at this point? Like, I was half expecting him to be revealed as the main killer instead of Dermot Mulroney or whoever it was at the end of Scream 6. I was like, it made tons of sense to either be Kirby or Stu to be, the linchpin of all the killers in Scream 6 because, like, it was all about the past. It was all about all these artifacts from years ago. It just felt like it made sense for it to be somebody like Stu, but no, it was the family of the guy from the last movie. Who cares? That was I think the biggest reveal letdown of the franchise for Scream. Stu was supposed to come back for 3. I think that's true. There's a weird rumor that Stu was returning, but with school violence, yes, I think you're right. I think that was supposed to be 3. Funnily enough, he's actually in Scream 2. I guess he was on set one day and he was in the background behind the girls that the sorority girls. So yeah. A lot of people want Stu to come back still. I don't care. They'll do whatever they want. I'll just ingest it like I've ingested all the Scream movies. I would make here. It would make zero sense for Stu to come back to Scream in Scream 6. Otherwise, they'd have had him suspect in Scream 2. But one thing was there was like a question mark with his mask or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I haven't seen Scream 6 since it came out here. There's a picture of Stu and weird makeup.
Well, the question mark next to his mask on the board in the police office, whatever. That was because of the connections. So sort of like they found so and so's mask at this crime scene, so and so's mask at this crime scene, So the question mark was where
I think okay, so I think I'm going back to it, one of the trailers then. What I was thinking when one of the trailers. Hold on. I think they're going for the original Scream 3 script for 7, and they're going to use that script. Imagine them using the script for 7. I don't know why they'd go back to a script that's 24 years old.
Well, and the thing too with that is like I don't see the point in that because basically Kevin Williamson just took his original idea and just sort of molded it into the TV show The Following. So, and not to mention like it's just so been widely reported on that it just wouldn't make sense to that because I think people would know. Part of the fun of the Scream movies is not knowing. Whether or not Stu comes back, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like one way or another, because yes, it would be ridiculous, but at the same time, one of the best slasher films involves a guy whose deceased body gets rammed with a pole and then struck by lightning. You know, and so if I'm fine with that, I could suspend my disbelief for Stu, even though I get it. Scream is supposed to be more real world, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Columbine happened in 1999, and they were prepping to shoot for Scream 3 when I think that went down or something like that, or writing the script or something. And yeah, school violence is a major thing. It still is, really. Cotton's death was edited so quick like that. I think you could retcon him. You know, they said he was dead though. But it'd be cool to see him with an eye patch on gray hair and shit.
One thing, you know, like I like Scream 3 enough as is, because again, it's like it's the worst in the franchise, but it's also not bad. Like it's like one of those franchises where I kind of like every entry. But one of the things I absolutely hated was how they killed Cotton so early in that. That's like my big pet peeve for any movie. This can relate to the topic at hand with how they treated Rachel in Halloween 5. I hate when they have a character who, you know, in the first Scream, who was present as far as like the backstory of Sydney, and we saw him like on TV. But then in part 2, they really brought his character into it, and then he had that moment with Sydney at the end, and it just was like, why couldn't they just sort of like build off of that a little bit more? Like, I'm fine with them killing him, like if they did it again, just sort of like Rachel, if they waited till closer to the end to do it. But the fact that they had him as the opening kill kind of pisses me off.
It was a bummer because I grew to like him at the end of Scream 2, as we're talking about here. Especially like when Sydney shoots Miss Loomis in the head again. He's like, whoa! You know, I love that. And Liev Schreiber's a great actor too. He's such a good actor. What a loss for the franchise. He could have been like the thing is though, like I think what they wanted to do with that is make it an impactful death. So like who else would you're not gonna kill Dewey, you're not gonna kill Gale, and of course you're not gonna kill Sydney. So like what else could they have done to, you know, because he was trying to draw Sydney out essentially, right? So
yeah, I just feel like that there was other ways. They could have just killed his girlfriend and then have that be like his story throughout the movie.
Oh, it would, you know what they could have done is killed his girlfriend and mortally wounded him, and the cops were like, why are you still alive? You've been through this before, blah blah. And they could have thought it was him. We could have thought it was him the whole time.
Right.
I just wrote a better Scream 3. What's up? Let's go. Anyway. Did she shoot something for Scream 5? Hayden Panettiere?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea either. I didn't realize that she had actually filmed anything. I love her. Actually, Cody's one of my favorite characters.
Well, there was like there was like this one thing like when Richie is watching YouTube, it's like this like thing on the sidebar for
interview
YouTube.
video. Yeah.
It was like something about like interview with Kirby Reed or something like that.
Yeah. No retconning any Scream. No, we're not going to retcon any Scream. Just move forward. I agree with you. But man, thinking Cotton's a killer in 3 movies would be awesome. Poor guy keeps getting dies at the end of Scream 3, and they thought he was the killer. Nope, it wasn't Cotton. He was set up again. They just couldn't do that. What are you guys thinking of the idea of a Scooby-Doo Scream crossover?
Well, listen. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, please interrupt.
But I mean, that would have like a storyline like that would have totally worked for a Scream 3, especially since Scream 3 essentially is all about going back to the past of Sydney's
That's
mother.
true.
So like it would
cap off the franchise, the trilogy. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about a Scream and Scooby-Doo crossover. I've never seen the Scooby-Doo movies, and I never will watch them. I love the cartoon growing up. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I think, and then the one from the 60s, which is those were great. And What's New Scooby-Doo? I watched that with my kids when they were little. And Mystery Inc. was pretty good too. It came out in like 2013, but I never saw any of the movies. I never will, and I don't want them to ever do any kind of weird crossover like that.
There is a kind of fun episode in, I think, season 14 of Supernatural. They call it Scooby Natural, where it is a crossover between Supernatural and Scooby-Doo, with the brothers getting transported into a TV, and so they're animated.
Cool.
They're part of the Scooby-Doo cartoons, and Dean's hitting on Daphne, and it's fun.
So, my son loves Scooby-Doo. Still, he's got like 5 Scooby-Doo shirts, and he's 15. People say Scream is the strongest horror series. It's good, but it has. What's the strongest horror series? If it's not Scream, Scream doesn't have a weak. If they have a weak addition, it's not as weak as many horror franchises. Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Jason Takes Manhattan. Pretty weird. And Friday the 13th, 3, in my opinion. Halloween, 5, 6, Resurrection. What?
Here's one that I would argue.
Phantasm?
The Evil Dead.
True. But you just gave him an answer. Now he can't answer it. Don't say Evil Dead. Gale needs to stay alive. Yeah, I don't want Gale to ever die.
Well, I felt like it was a missed opportunity to like I hate to say, because like, you know, what I love, like my favorite film in that franchise is Scream 2, and what I love about that film is they had the balls to kill Randy, and then it seemed like for 3 and 4 they didn't have the balls to kill off any main characters. And Scream 5, they kind of recollected their balls, but they killed the wrong character, in my opinion. Like I felt like it would have been better if they killed Gale in that movie and then had the motivating factor for Dewey. That series is not the same without Dewey. I'm just going to put it out there. After Randy, Dewey is my favorite character. So.
Yeah, I know Matthew Lillard. I'm not a big Matthew Lillard guy. I know a lot of people love Matthew Lillard. I can never really get on board. He's okay. Let's see. What's New Scooby-Doo was Kids WB back in the day. It's pretty good. I think that was a good adaptation of Scooby-Doo. Imagine Shaggy getting pulled into the machine and stabbed to death. That would be hilarious.
The whole Randy scene, but with Shaggy.
Yeah. Imagine Shaggy's voice saying "fuck you" like Randy did, and then that'd be funny. Yeah, I think that would be great. Somebody should make. commission somebody to make that, like Ghostface popping out of that would be a good maybe
Yeah.
nature that grabs Shaggy. Which movie in the year 2000 did the better teenage female werewolf, Ginger Snaps or Scream 3?
Oh, I mean, I think I'm trying to get a grasp on this question here. Which movie in the year 2000 did the better the teenage female? Well, clearly, I think Ginger Snaps. Because Scream 3 was like it was the characters were all adults or young adults, so there was no real teenagers in that.
Punctuation is key. A little early to tell, but A Quiet Place is consistently good. I didn't care for 3 all that much. I originally liked it, but the more I sat on it, the less I liked the last one.
Yeah, not really a big fan of the new one. I love the first two, but
See, but you can't say minus when you're talking about like there's no weak entries. Oh, minus Army Darkness. No, you got to have all of them in there. And I think Scream is stronger than Evil Dead because Army Darkness isn't that great, in my opinion.
I like the Evil Dead franchise more than the Scream franchise. I'll put that there.
I don't think I do. I gotta be in a mood for Evil Dead. They open the mystery and see the guts spill out, and or Belma loses her glasses because she always loses her goddamn glasses. My glasses. Gail forwards the ghost-based motives, get inspiration from books, stab movies, whereas is just there. That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, kind of, but I mean, you really got to think about too, like how times have changed and like books aren't all that popular. Like movies are way more popular, and there's people who
Didn't they do like a true crime thing for Scream, like in the movie universe, or is that something we discussed as a theory?
they could do that.
Okay, I can't remember. I haven't watched the Scream movie since whenever Scream 6 came out. I guess.
Well, I mean, and I think I mentioned this like last week because someone brought up Scream last week. It might have been that same guy, but it's just like Scream never needs a remake because they've already established in universe how influential the stab films are and how they make people go crazy, and so anyone can imitate the events by getting a Ghostface mask and going after their friends. So. Did you freeze up?
No, I got a text that's kind of important. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Where did we leave off? Okay, we're talking about Army of Darkness. So we did a show on Army of Darkness a couple weeks ago. Just so everybody knows, Army of Darkness. I'll bend over backwards for since it's my top 3 horror movies of all time.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it is, but it's my least favorite of all these movies, and that's one I have to absolutely be in the mood to watch. I know this is going to be very long shot, but I think both people in Dewey are both alive. No, and they're in witness protection. That's what I think. Okay, well, I mean that's an okay theory, but they're not alive. They show Randy's bloody dead body.
Randy's definitely not alive. He got stabbed in the face like multiple times. Like there's no coming back from that one.
No.
Dewey, I think I'm pretty sure he is dead, but I
Dewdrop.
could. Yeah, I could potentially see some sort of like, hey, he survived and they just made it look like he died thing, but you're still stretching it with that. Um, and here's how I feel about it. Like, if they do find a way to bring Dewey back, I'm game for it because this. I really digged part 6 for the majority of it. It does fall apart in the third act, but it's just not the same without Dewey.
Yeah, I said while you were gone that I think if Scream is more grounded in reality, I think if you're dead, you should stay dead. Because they're talking about. By the way, all my Scream movies were right behind me. Call me crazy, but I love Scream 4.
You're crazy. No,
I know.
Scream 4.
Let's see.
For the most part, I hate that tacked on ending in the hospital. I wish it just ended
I
with
know.
Joe winning.
Maybe unpopular, but I like all the standalone Predator movies. I would think that all the Predator movies are basically standalone movies. I mean, sure, Predator 2 is called Predator 2, but it really has nothing to do with the first movie. I wouldn't say any of them are really linked other than the fact that it has that alien Predator. And for my money, and Seth's money, Predator 2 is pretty fucking awesome.
I love Predator 2. I also love the third film, Predators. I think that film is super underrated.
I think the worst one is The Predator.
Yeah, and that's one where it's like there's so many funny fucking moments in that movie, but like I hate the big CGI Predator. I fucking, there's just something about that film that just didn't. I hated, especially at the very very end when it's like Boyd Holbrook's character gets the fucking Iron Man suit or whatever it is. Like I hated that part, but like the dialogue in that movie is goddamn hilarious.
I hate Boyd Holbrook. How about that?
Yeah.
I really don't like him. I mean, Jill's motivation was jealousy of Sidney, which was perpetuated by Gale's books and stab movies.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, but I love Jill, actually. Yeah, Castlevania was my jam back in the day. That's my text tone every time somebody texts me. Scream is in my top 5 favorite movies. Never bothered with sequels, to be honest, minus. Okay. There's also a video. That's true. You only can watch when he's dead. And they have that shrine in Scream 5 of him dead. Uncle Andy. The two killers in Scream 5 were motivated by death, not having Sidney. Movies were based on expanded form of his book. I believe Cooper Randy's by his mom. That's hard to do though. Like, I don't know. I love Predator.
Well, I mean, Scream 5 cemented the fact that Randy's dead.
Yeah. Bursts into Holden's apartment, and then Glover comes in and says, "Please, the lady doesn't think." Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in Predator 2.
I fucking love Predator 2. I wrote an article about why Predator 2 is my favorite sequel in that franchise. So fucking good.
There's no way to top Predator though. The original Predator movie.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Scream 4 is great, but it goes down the toilet when just like Seth said. Out of all the deaths and murders in the entire Scream franchise, I think Olivia's murder was the most brutal, the most bloodiest death in the entire franchise. Who's Olivia?
She was Jill and Kirby's friend, the one that they saw get killed across the street. And yeah. It was pretty brutal, especially for the Scream movie.
Yeah. The girl who got lit on fire in Scream 5, that sucked. That was pretty brutal.
I love the fact that that happens to her in Scream 5 and in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my God, that's her.
Yeah.
She's fired.
She was one of the Manson groupies at the end of that movie.
Predators, I agree. The funny thing is I didn't realize what that movie was going to be because it was just on TV. and we started watching it from like with maybe the first 10 minutes without knowing the title or anything. I'm like, what is this movie? And then they find that like shrine and use the Predator mask or whatever it is. Like, oh shit, I had no idea this existed. Shane Black's The Predator is so vulgar and excessive that it becomes infuriating.
I love that. I love that one scene though, where it's like the the ex-wife of Boyd Holbrook's character like kind of gives him a speech, and like some of the people kind of like leave to go with him, and then there's that one guy who was like, I didn't find your speech inspiring, but they all call me a bunch of they all call me a pussy, and I can't have that. I just love that scene. Like Shane Black's dialogue is fucking incredible, and like I've been a huge fan of him since Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, and The Last Boy Scout, The Long Kiss Goodnight, like The Monster Squad, Last Action Hero. Like I've been a huge fan of Shane Black's writing for a long time, so I was excited that he got to do a Predator film. It's unfortunate that there was some studio interference while making this film, and there's just flaws with his film in general. It's my least favorite of that franchise. Yeah. Yeah, the third film is fucking awesome. I love the third film.
I need to rewatch that one. It's been a while since I watched it. The edited crap because it's unfortunate. Yeah,
Don't forget about Lance Henriksen.
that's true.
People keep forgetting about Lance Henriksen.
Yeah, but he didn't get killed by the alien. He was a rodent.
Well, I mean, he technically did. I mean, Aliens, he got split in half pretty much by the thing. And then he was like decommissioned after that. And then, of course, a Predator killed him in AVP. And then, of course, the infamous police station scene.
Do we see him die in that scene?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
I'm pretty sure you do. It's been a while.
Okay. So when Dewey was stabbed, that person was at least the same height as Dewey, and the girl, I guess Amber, is the one that takes credit for it. But this could almost make sense. What I would love to do a whole show on Scream theories because I don't want to get into it, but this just like really makes me think about because there's no way that girl was that tall. They can overpower.
That's the problem with the Scream films, though. I mean, we had the same problem with Scream 4. The characters who are revealed to be Ghostface are nowhere near as tall as Ghostface appears in the film. It's just sort of like that leap of faith that you have to take to buy into these characters are that character, because the person behind the Ghostface mask is a stunt person. And if you think about the majority of the work that, when you see Ghostface, it is all stunt work. So it's just a matter of having to sort of like take that level of suspension of disbelief because really, especially with Scream 4. Scream 4, Scream 5, and even Scream 6, the characters who are all revealed to be Ghostface, a lot of them are pretty short.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. When you guys are watching the show, do you prefer this or this? Which version do you prefer? You can see us better this way. Just curious. The close-up or the far away?
I'll be right back.
What was Predator 3? Predators. Unless AVP counts, because AVP for it. Giving your honest opinion. Okay, we did that one already. Giving your honest opinion. Do you personally believe it was Stu that attacked and killed Dewey? And no, I don't. I don't. Stop asking because there's a lot I want to say about that, but I don't want to because I got to go. And my daughter's out there waiting for me. She's got to get to go into bed in a minute. Scream Billy Loomis is the best. I like Further Back because it lets you guys have more room with. Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't seen it the other way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll keep it that way. And plus, you can see more of my stuff. I wish you could see more of the posters, like my Romero and Lucio Fulci's on Friday 13 stuff. Oh, cool shit back there. I actually, if you're on YouTube, go to our channel, The Horror Syndicate, and subscribe if you haven't already. But check out. I did an entire video, like going around the horror room. This room is all dedicated to horror. It's a mess right now, but I've got like here. There's a sliding glass door. My Jason Knox. Movies over here. There's a door. More movies. Closet that's open. And then all my autographs. Other stuff. So, oh man. Yeah, so I love this horror room. I need to straighten it back up. But anyway. Amber being set on fire with upsetting too much, but those COVID years, the big ones, yeah, that's good stuff. One of my friends liked the Scream Tatum because he goes, your boobs aren't fitting through them. That's true. Do you reckon when Schumacher returns in Scream 7, will he revenge Billy's death or will he continue what Billy started? I don't know.
Well, here's the fascinating thing about that for me is like it would have worked if they had Melissa Barrera returning, with the fact that he could target Sam based on the fact that it's revealed basically by Roman Bridger in Scream 3 that Stu was only there as a fall guy. So say if Stu did live and he found out because of the events that happened in Scream 3 that Billy only brought him in as someone to take the blame for everything, like then you could see him going after Sam, who he would have known about, right? Because apparently it's from Billy's secret lover. I think that could have worked.
Predators was the era of whisper growling protagonists. I'm not wearing hockey pads.
You know, people give Adrian Brody a lot of shit for his performance, but I like his performance in Predators.
If I remember correctly, he was good. So if you have any more questions, please do them now because I have to go. I have to get my kids off to bed. Otherwise, tomorrow, Seth will be back, right, with a new werewolf episode of Werewolf Wednesday. That's starting, well, maybe not officially starting. It'll be like a soft start, like, you know. I'm going to make him an intro. Maybe I'll work on that after this. An intro with werewolf stuff going crazy. That was dumb. But coming up on Sunday, just confirmed, we'll be talking about Alien Romulus on THS Discourse with Nate, myself, and Seth. So that'll be a fun show. It'll be a spoiler episode. So if you've not seen the movie, see it before we talk about it, because we are going to spoil it. The spoiler ban hasn't been lifted. It's lifted after the first weekend anymore, I think. Because I saw spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine like really fast this year. Jordan says 7 could tie up Sam and Tara Blood thing and have her come after. Maybe. I don't think more. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, if you have anything before we go, do you know anything about what you're going to do tomorrow?
I haven't narrowed down the specific topic, but it's definitely something for Werewolf Wednesday. It's going to be the Werewolf Wednesday show. I just watched a movie tonight. It's a new 2024 movie that was fucking boring. So I could be talking about 2024 werewolf films that I've seen so far. I've seen, I can't remember how many there was. Hellhounds, Bite, Blackout, The Beast Within. And I feel like there was another 2024 werewolf film. But I may do about the newer ones, or I may kind of dive into a different subject, but it's going to be definitely about werewolves tomorrow. So join me tomorrow night for my show.
Don't forget to ask him about Werewolf Castle.
About what?
Werewolf Castle.
I should do a show about Werewolf Castle.
Probably.
I'll dedicate it in your honor, right?
Is The Beast Within delayed?
No, it got a limited release in theaters. I think the same week that Deadpool and Wolverine opened, but it is available to rent on Amazon Prime. I think it was like $6.99. I think I paid for it. But do I recommend it? Not to pay for it. I would say if you really want to see it, wait. It's a very boring film where nothing literally happens at all until the very end. The werewolf looks great when they show it, but yeah.
My kind of movie. So Werewolf Wednesday tomorrow. I may do a. Let's see if I can do this without having somebody's comment. If you missed it, I'm going to try to do daily questions on our YouTube channel, and it'll be on the Facebook page as well, like a reel or whatever of a daily question.
Not a bad question, Bert.
It's because I'm Razor. That's why it's called the Razor Burn. Burning questions. Okay. Try to get you some more content from the Horror Syndicate, video-wise.
Yeah, I mean the trailer looked really good for it. I was looking forward to the movie a lot, so
Trailers can be misleading.
tonight I was pretty excited when I saw that I could rent it. But yeah, maybe I was just in a bad mood. I don't know. Don't take it from me. Just, definitely give it a shot because everyone has different opinions. You and I are probably going to disagree on a lot of stuff. So definitely give it a shot. I just personally thought it was boring, but maybe there's something in there that you like.
Yeah, I probably won't watch it ever. Anyway, you guys have a great night. We'll see you soon. We may do a midday show sometime this week since Seth's off, and I have nothing else going on in my life. Anyway, have a great night, and we'll see you all soon. Go ahead.
Love lives today, but evil dies tonight.
It's absolutely